Conduits, soulbinds. With so many options out there, what do we choose to become the most powerful restoration druid in the world of Worldcraft? My dudes, Lifesaver here with another video, this time going over the much requested soulbinds and conduits that everyone keeps asking me about. I'm going to go over the majority of them, some of them I'll just skim over real quickly, and I'm going to go over which ones I think are the best when you're pushing either mythic content or arenas. So let's get in real quickly here and see what we're running here. So right now I'm Night Fae, more for PvE. Obviously if you're pushing Series 3s, you're obviously going to be Necrolord. And if that's the case, you're going to be running the first guy for Necrolords. I can't remember what his name is. But there's like a little blob thing that's right here. And basically every time you drop below 15%, 50% health, you get a shield for 15% of your health. And it's a 30-second cooldown. It's a no-brainer, like it's absolutely amazing. The first one's kind of useless, I don't remember what it is, but it's something that doesn't matter to PvP. But yeah, that's one you want to pick. For our Night phase, pod. My dude's pod is so good, especially in the Mythic Plus scene. Even in raiding, you know, you accidentally die, you're up in 10 seconds, the 10-minute cooldown. You basically get a cheat death as a restoration druid, which has never been ever in the history of World of Warcraft. Absolutely amazing. This is just great. Just run it, okay? Now let's go over some of the endurance conduits and the finesse conduits and the potencies. We'll start with the endurance here. This one's actually very good. It's called Earth Sign Vigor. So what it does here is after 4 seconds after you shift into your bear form, you gain 17% more armor and health. So this is actually really amazing, especially in the Mythic Plus scene. If you're versing a big boss mechanic, a big damage is about to come out, you're going to shift in bear anyways right before the damage hits. Have an extra 17% health, as well as already having, what, 20% I think in bear form? 25% more? Like, that's pretty sweet. You're going to avoid a lot of damage for those instant cooldowns, or even in arenas. You know, you're about to get switched from a kidney and a rogue. You see like the omni bar, it's like 3, 2, 1, it's gonna step kidney you. Instantly go bear form, you just gave yourself 17% more health for nothing. Like it's pretty sweet. So this is actually one of the best ones. The reason I don't run it, I'll show you in a little bit, is because there's a couple other ones that have even more value. So the one I'm running right now, that I think is the best currently, is Well-Honed Instincts. Alright? It's literally incredible. Alright, so every time you drop below 40% health, you get Frenzy Regen on yourself. And it's about a 1-minute cooldown, 64 seconds, depending what the item level is. This is insane. Not only for Mythic Plus, so every minute, like every time you do a Prideful, you can let your character purposely, you can let your guy, you know, put a rejuve on yourself, let yourself get weaker. You wait for the proc hit when you're 40% health, this will heal you basically back up to around 70%. And you have a rejuve on, ticking, whatever, and then you can start worrying about yourself. So during the beginning of Prideful, you don't have to worry about your health too much, because you know you have Well-Honed Instincts that's going to kick in. Also for boss encounters, a lot of times there'll be a boss mechanic, everyone gets smashed with 30% health. You know, like you and the tank are the least healing priority, because you have a free heal, so you can heal the DPS first, which makes your mind just a little bit more at ease and focus more on your group, knowing who you need to heal first instead of yourself or the tank, because he has medication, right? So definitely run this. Even for PvP, it's incredible. Say you get kidney shot out of form by accident, you have a free heal every minute. Almost every time a DPS has a go on you, you have a free heal in case you mess up. And even if you don't mess up, like it's just free 32% heal on of your health for nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't shift you into form. It doesn't do anything. It's just instantly procs for 3 seconds. You're healing. Incredible. Even if you're stunned. So definitely run this basically all the time. The other one I'm running is Innate Absolve. So this makes it so your Frenzy Regen actually heals 50% more, which is amazing. I mean, it just makes your Frenzy Regen even stronger, especially running Bear Form, Guardian Affinity in arenas against those melee cleave comps. This is just, you're just healing more. I mean, why would you not take it? And then when you regrowth on yourself, it always heals you for 15% more, which is just nice. It's just a free heal for yourself. Again, less healing I have to do on myself, more you can focus on the rest of your teammates. I can do 1 regrowth, which would be significantly stronger, and I can more worry about the rest of the team, right? Frenzy Regen procs, regen myself, get 1 regrowth, heal the rest of my team, I know I'm good. So definitely I think these two have the most value. If I get a third endurance, like for example, if I wasn't running down this, like ideally you should be running this tree to get some damage for your team, get more versatility. You get another endurance conduit, I'd be running Earth Sign Vigor, because that's probably the max. I like Potency more, but that's my suggestion. There's a couple other ones here. We got Toughest Bark, and reduce the cooldown on Bark by 13%. I mean, if you're doing high instants where you're trying to bait, you say people see you have no Bark skin, so they're going to switch at you. You have, an extra 8 seconds or so, where you have that before, or 10 seconds before. Very niche, might help in a very, very high arena setting. but I wouldn't waste it personally. Iron Fur, I don't even get into this, not for healing. Finesse, they're all fairly not that important. This one's kind of nice, so it reduces the cooldown of your Mass Entanglement, Heart of the Wild, and your Mighty Bash by 15%. So it's kind of nice if you're pushing maximum damage. If you're running a Finesse Conduit, you can switch it here. This is going to give you just Heart of the Wild up more often. Since it's a 5-minute cooldown, you're going to save a little bit over a minute. Pretty good to have. Not needed, I say. I mean, unless you're absolutely min-maxing your damage pool, I don't think it's that important. I wouldn't bother personally. Born Anew is nice, I guess, if you're doing arenas. It's probably, I mean, not arenas, Mythic Plus. This is probably the only Conduit I would use for Finesse, probably, is because when you battle rest somebody, which you'll probably do a couple times throughout the dungeon, they get a little more movement speed, in case like a difficult mechanic with their stuff popping up and you have to move really quickly, and they get the well-fed buff, so 26 to main stat for 1 hour, which is amazing. So, nice to have, don't get me wrong. It's probably the only Finesse Conduit really worth running in a Mythic Plus situation. But for PvP, I mean, this is okay. Front of the pack here. It's nice to increase the radius of your Stampeding Roar, only in a raid situation. I would never run this normally. Even in a raid, I personally wouldn't run it. If you want to, go ahead. PvP though, this is the one Conduit you always want to be running when you're doing arenas, also RBGs. So 4 seconds after leaving cat form or travel form, you keep that movement speed for 40% of your movement speed, which is insane. Especially if you're running cat form like in 2s or 3s, you already have 50%. If you're running the legendary Oath of the Elder Dragon, is it over here? Somewhere here. Anyways, you get 24% base movement speed. Plus you shift out of your form, you'll be moving like a torpedo. I have some videos before that I showed where you're moving like, you shift out of form and you're moving faster than you're in cat form. You're like 50% movement speed for 4 seconds. Absolutely crazy. It's like a permanent sprint. People will never catch you. Okay, you will never get touched by a melee unless it's a monk. Monks are insane. I don't want to get into it. Monks are overpowered. You heard it from me. Done. Alright, carrying on here. Let's go into the potencies. So the highest HPS you're going to gain from any of the potency conduits is unstoppable growth, right? It just makes your healing fall off 30% less over time of your wild growth, right? So when you wild grow somebody, it heals a lot in the beginning and heals less and less each tick over 7 seconds. So about every second or so. Yeah. So this just has the biggest HPS gain. It increases wild growth heal by like 7 or 8%, 6%, something like that. It's just amazing. It's a 7-second cooldown. You're doing it all the time in Mythic Plus. For all the melee comps, you're running the PvP talent. Early Spring, which makes your Early Spring your wild growth an instant cast. So you're always going to be using this all the time, especially in RPGs. You're definitely always running this. So every 7 seconds, your heal just does 6 or 7% more. Medids. Always use this one. This is just the best straight HPS one you can use. Always be running it. For your Necrolords, obviously you're not running Convoke of the Elements. I do this because it makes my Convoke do 20% more damage or healing. This is great in Mythic Plus. If you need a bigger heal, 20% more. If I'm going for my DPS rotation, and I have Heart of the Wild, so it's 30% more damage from Heart, then I do this with a 20% more on my Convoke. My Convoke is doing 50% more damage, and it already does insane damage. And you link that with your DPS Trinket that you have, whichever one you have, you can do some nutty damage in your 4-second windows every 2 minutes. It's pretty amazing. So definitely do this if you're Night Fae. If you're not Night Fae, obviously you're not running Convoke with the Elements, so you're going to be running with something else. In that case, I'd be running this one. Swift Managed Healing is increased by 60% of the consumed heal over time. And if you're running with the Verdant Infusion, this still works. So the healing you get, because technically you're not removing the hot, but the extra heal that you would get if you did remove the hot is still applied. So if you reduce someone and then use Verdant Infusion, and you have Floor Recycling on, you'll get an extra like 2k heal on your Swiftman. So this 6k will actually heal for 8k if it's right after Rejuvenation. And then instead of removing the hot, because you're running with this legendary, it'll make it last 8 seconds longer. So that one bro, basically, you rejuve Swiftmen, they're good. Like, you ain't touching him. He's at Rejuvenation for like 25 seconds. Leave him alone. He's healing the full, and he just heals for 8k. So it's a great thing to run. If I had another Conduit, that's what I'd be running personally. This was kind of nice. Every time you get a clear cast, it makes your regrowth cost nothing. You'll see like a little green thing when it procs. It makes your regrowth heal an extra 30%. It's nice, kind of niche. I don't think you're going to be using that much. It's just too RNG of it. Like, if it happens, cool, you get a bigger regrowth, I guess. But you just can't really control it. For me, if I'm going to use a Conduit, I like to have consistent control over what I'm using. Let's see, the next one here is Nature Swiftness cooldowns reduced by 15%. Could be good later on. I think max when this will get to like 230 whatever, this will be a 20% reduction in NH to NS, which is nice, right? So instead of a 1 minute cooldown on your NS, it's going to be like 40 seconds or so, 45 seconds. Kind of cool, especially in arena setting. You know, you have your biggest instant heal. That means more every third Swiftman you use, you'll be doing into a huge full heal Swiftman on somebody. Sorry, NS on somebody. So this could have value later on once we get a high item level of it. Let's see here. Oh, this is one I'm already using. Fear of Disguise. This is not bad for Mythic Plus if you're just trying to min-max damage. The group is really good. They're always never getting hit by anything, so you're running with a group that you always run with. This normally will never happen in a pug. You'll never have value to this. But if you have a group that's consistent running with, you're pushing 17s, 18s, 19s, then definitely run with Moonfire, increase your arcane damage, and Sunfire, increase your nature damage. It's just more passive damage as you're dotting everything. Again, that's just like trying to min-max your damage, to time keys. We see some of my other videos, like we've timed keys within 0.01 second. And if I did no damage at the end, we would not have timed it. So definitely worth considering on a high key, otherwise, whatever. Not too worried about it. Unless you're pushing like absolutely min-maxing. Social alignment, nah, it doesn't really matter. Increase by 7 seconds. You won't get value of that. Yeah, also not value. Damage on your wrath starts 42. Kind of nice, but whatever, not a big deal. Tiger's Fury, absolutely not. No. Maybe the one with Ferocious Bite, I think. Here. This is kind of cool. So it can make your Rippier Shred do 60% more damage. Again, you're just min-maxing. Forged by a 3% chance to do more damage per bleed. I mean, yeah, no. None of these, I mean, you can play around them if you have an extra slot. None of these have enough value to be replacing the ones I mentioned already. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys learned some stuff. Hope you learned the poon. Alright, other than that, I'm probably going to let you go here. If you haven't followed me on Twitch, guys, I just hit 100 followers. You know, give it a little love. Twitch.tv/lifesaverclaps. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the channel on YouTube, would always appreciate that. Other than that, I hope you gain some accurate knowledge here and some things that would help you out when you're pushing keys, if you're doing arenas. If you guys have any other questions or content that you'd like to see covered, hit me up in the comments, my dudes. Tell me what you want to see, and Lifesaver will produce it for you. Alright, guys, have a great day, and we'll catch you guys later.